Hello YouTubers, 2009 Honda Ridgeline, and the owner was complaining on the power steering that it was not consistent. Sometimes it works fine, but in other cases it's really bad. So what we have done by now, so this is the reservoir. It sits usually over there, and I extracted the fluid out of the reservoir, and you can see it's over there. It's super black. It's not dark, it's black, and it's supposed to be transparent. So also in this reservoir, I don't know if you can see inside, there is a screen. So I disconnected it from the supply line, return line, washed it with a brake clean, dried it with the compressed air, so the screen is clean. So next, what I want to do is to replace the fluid, as it's quite dark and the screen was plugged. So until we do any further troubleshooting, we need to make sure that the fluid is clean and fluid supply is good. So other thing that you should pay attention is the noise on a pump. So right now, like, this is I think original pump, and this vehicle has 300,000 Ks on it, but there is literally no noise coming from that pump, which is good. And also, if there is any air in a fluid while the car is running. So these vehicles are known for issue like on this fluid intake. There is an O-ring, and since originally this reservoir sits down below, it applying some suction pressure to get the fluid in, so often it would pull air over there. So this is not the case. There is no air in the fluid. So to change the fluid, what I will do, I have raised this reservoir at this point so we have good flow to the pump. So I have transfer pump, it's battery powered. So what we're doing, we connected the suction from the pump to the return on the power steering system. So we will fill this one, fill the reservoir with the fresh fluid, and we'll start pumping from the return. So in this case, we will displace all the fluid in a circuit. The only thing will be left inside the rack and pinion. So for that, at the end, we will spin the wheels to the left and to the right in order to display that. But at this point, I will fill this with fresh fluid and we'll start pumping. So for the fluid, we are using Honda power steering fluid. I don't think there is much you can use other than that. It's not ATF, it's not regular power steering fluid for American vehicles. So this is quite expensive. It's like around I think $30 Canadians for a liter. So don't waste it, and yeah, that's what you're supposed to use. Alright, so the reservoir is full with the fluid, and now we should be able to start the pump and see the old fluid coming out. You can see it's super dark, and you can see that the reservoir goes down, so we will keep filling it up. And we will be pumping until we see clear fluid going through the pump. So we are at 1 liter of fluid gone through, and we can see that the fluid is light now, so we'll stop the pump at this point. So now what we want to do, we want to go inside and turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, to the right. So what it will do, it will grab the fluid from the reservoir and will push like piston displacement inside the rack and pinion and push it back to your reservoir over here. Though since this pump is creating quite a bit of resistance, so we'll just go really slowly so it has time to push that fluid through. So now I'm slowly spinning the wheel, and if you can see in that hose, the fluid is getting pushed while I'm spinning the wheel. as I said, just go slow, because that pump is creating some resistance, so that hose connection on the return line can blow if you go too fast. Okay, so the wheels went all the way to the left, and you can see that we are at the half of the reservoir, so we will fill the reservoir up and we'll spin the wheels all the way to the right. Okay, so now when we have the wheel spinned all the way to the left and to the right, we'll keep pumping, because we should get another dump of dark fluid. That's the one that was pushed out of the rack and pinion. And you can see it's getting darker right away. So this is the fluid coming back out of the rack and pinion, so we'll just need to wait until we get clean flow again. So you can see that we are at nice light clean fluid again, and we are almost at 2 liters of fluid. So at this point we'll just stop the pump and we'll reconnect the reservoir to the return line, and we should be done with the fluid change on the power steering. Alright, so we have connected the reservoir back, and you see it at the full level mark. So next what we will do, we'll start the vehicle, spin the wheels to the right and to the left. Don't just get them locked all the way to the left and to the right, because that's how you get rid out of air. So you just spin it to the left, not all the way to the dead point, then to the right, and then you should be good. You can check for any bubbles in the reservoir, check for the level, and if everything looks okay, this mission will be complete. Okay, so after you start the vehicle, spin the wheel, the fluid level went down to the low, and that means that there was some air, and most likely in the return line when we disconnected it. So now we will top up and call it done. Thanks for watching, and do it yourself.